weekend
Yeah.
and come back next weekend.
Hello? We're in.
Hey, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
Hello?
Well, hello.
Are we back?
Are you
We're all
guys?
back? Oh my gosh.
We're
I'm
there.
so sorry. For some reason, my internet just shot itself.
Full on sat down and released its bowels.
Right. For reasons I don't understand. But now we're live. And we were talking about Treasure Planet and TV shows.
Oh my
No?
god. No.
No what? Hello? No
Zamer.
what? Zamer?
What? Zamer.
Don't make me panic, Zamer. I'm just trying to make sure everything is running smoothly. And it looks like everything is again back live. I don't know why it just decided to disconnect from my own computer and not anything else in my house. But okay. All right. I see you. Okay, so let's just jump back into it then. Since we were talking about how a lot of animated movies would look great as a live action,
Variation of movie or series.
variation of movie or series, yeah, um, as a live action, we so I noticed a lot of it is just the Renaissance, or like not the Renaissance, the Dark Ages. Like, is there one from like the classic Disney that you would love to see live action?
Classic, like, are you talking about like the Disney princesses classics or just any kind of anything in general?
I feel honestly like because the Disney Princess's own franchise, like the Disney Princess franchise, it would be very difficult for any of those to be a classic film. I mean a live action without
Well, like,
something shitting on it. Because like we're getting the, I mean, of course we're getting like the Little Mermaid and everything, but because those are Disney princess films, they're going to be held to a higher standard. You know what I mean?
I mean, we do have Cinderella already, and we kind of had Sleeping Beauty retelling kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Would I feel like there are some that it's like, oh yeah, I would kind of like to see that, but we have a really good version done by someone else, like Peter Pan. A really good reimagining of Peter Pan is Hook, not done by Disney.
Yeah, that's not done by Disney. But so I'm just I'm just saying Disney in itself. Just
Right. So it's
Disney.
like, oh, like Peter Pan would be cool. Well, no, we did actually have Peter Pan.
Which one was that?
It was. I really enjoyed it. I didn't think it was bad. Peter Pan. I think it was like that's not right. No, that's Pan. Uh, Peter Pan live action 2003. That doesn't look like it was done by Disney, but like we keep getting good stuff done elsewhere that it's
Yeah.
like, cool, we don't need it done by Disney.
Well,
There's a
now
reason for us to really do another Peter Pan. We have a really good Hook, which is like reimagining adult Peter Pan. And then we have like a 2003 Peter Pan that's really cute, that was really well done. The night scenes were a little too blue, in my opinion, but was really well done with, I want to say, no, I'm thinking of the wrong movie. That was done really well with a Tinkerbell that rings and tinkles like a bell.
I know what you're talking about because it was made in like the 2000s, right?
2003, yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
there was a musical version with Hugh Jackman as I think
Mm-hmm.
Blackbeard. not super great, but it was still interesting. And I'm like,
But you seem to
there's
forget that.
stories that don't need to be retold.
Well, yeah, but you seem to forget that this is Disney, and as much as I love Disney, they will do whatever they can to make more money, to get their hands on that more
I was about
money.
to say, looking at Star Wars, I am fully
Looking at
aware.
Star Wars.
I am fully aware.
So
I'm
even
like,
though they're like, oh well, we don't need a retelling of a story. Of course, we don't need a retelling of the story. But guess what? Disney's gonna do it in their own
because
Disney way.
yeah, I know, and it's like they're gonna make it a retelling and not a reimagining.
Nope, 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 nope. And it's just like that's just Disney. That's just Disney. And you know what? They're still gonna go strong. People are still gonna give them money just to be able to like see. I think it's the nostalgia factor. See their old animated things. This is what I don't understand. I I guess they are trying to do all these live action films because they assume that a lot of adults in like our generation or Generation X won't
Mhm.
really like animation. And I'm just like, fuck no. Of course we
Fuck
love
that shit. We were
animation.
raised on animation.
And I honestly prefer the animation over a lot of the live action. There's some things I shouldn't have been like live action because there's some things that live action can't do that animation can. And like that is create an entire like this is the thing about animation. When you're doing art, and that's what animation is. It's like a form of art. And of course live action is too, but
Yeah.
stay with me here. When you're doing art and like painting a film or like creating this animated film, there are no setbacks, in my personal opinion, of where your imagination can go. You can literally, if you think it up, you can draw it up, you know? And that, like, it just, oh, it opens the whole world. Animation can open an entire world to all this kind of creative, just, just so creative.
I forgot another live action
What?
that wasn't apparently on the list is
Okay.
Pete's Dragon.
Oh, yes, yes. But technically, Peace Dragon was a live action slash animated film in that time too.
Okay, yeah, okay, that is fair. I will give you that.
Um, but yeah, so in live
I
action, there are
yeah.
setbacks. You can't. There are even if you try to do like a green screen or CGI, there's going to be some more setbacks than that you can't do that art can. Like 2D art or 2D animation can, right? Or even 3D, but like 2D animation.
Like a great example of that is Aladdin, and I really hate to
Yes.
spoil this for you, but it's a perfect example. So in the opening scene, Aladdin steals bread and he gets chased by the city guards.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he like it's that opening song and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very end, he picks up a carpet and he's like, I'm gonna jump, and then hops on it and quote unquote, glides down. And he can do that because it's animation.
Yes.
Now, the one thing that I will die on this hill praising is that when they kind of recaptured that same scene
Yeah.
in the live action, he picks up this rolled up rug, and I'm like, cool, this cannot be done in live action. What are they going to do with that? That rug is obviously still tied up. He doesn't have time to unfurl this rug. What is he going to do?
Right.
And so what he does is he grabs a rope and grabs this rug, throws the rug across the alleyway to land into a building, and he jumps off with this rope and swings down and into a like an apartment unit underneath.
Yes.
So
Mm-hmm.
the
It was
palace or the
seamless.
city guards, it's like, oh, he jumped across. Get down there and get across to him, and he escapes that way. I'm like,
Yeah. That was
that
seamless. That was seamless. You
is
still
brilliant because
Yeah.
he live action cannot do that.
No, you can't. And like that's you're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to adapt to like what the original animated film did. And then you're like, "Okay, well, in reality, because animated films, they're just in a whole different reality, obviously. They're on that 2D plane, where in reality, you're like, okay, scientifically, that is impossible. You cannot do that. So like so of course they adapted it to a way that they could. And that is one. See, with Aladdin, I like, again, much I really did like Aladdin as a live action. I liked Aladdin as a live action because I also loved the character Jasmine in the live
Hmm.
action. I felt like, she wasn't just sassy for the sake of being just like, sassy or whatever. She actually had a purpose. She had a goal, a dream. Like, whereas the Jasmine in the animated film just wanted to be free, right?
Well, she was
Um,
kind of what, 16, so
yeah,
um,
but still, this one had like, well, I want to be the next sultan. I want to be like, I mean, I don't want to have to
I
marry
I
into
am
anything.
actively helping my father.
Exactly. That's what I liked. It gave Jasmine a little. It fleshed out Jasmine a lot more.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it. It did, and it
Though
was
her
wonderful.
song, I will give it, her song was a little off.
Okay. I
Like
actually
not
love the
not the
song.
song itself, but like that entire scene for her
Oh,
song
yeah. Okay. Okay.
is
All right. Fair. Fair.
awkward.
Fair. Fair. Because like I actually absolutely adore the song, but I can understand why you
Like
say
the
the
song isn't
scene.
bad, it's just executed weird.
Yeah, I can see that, like the scene wise. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fair. So yeah, like I did think that Aladdin was good. Not a lot of people liked Beauty and the Beast. I actually really liked Beauty and the Beast.
Complaints,
I
but I will
I
give
love the music.
Beauty's
I like that. That's the difference between you and me, which is fine. I actually really did like
yeah,
the music. I
like
did.
I will give it praise. I'm like it I liked how they corrected like a lot of the plot holes from the animation. They
Mm-hmm.
did a good job with a lot of those. And then there were other things that just weren't
It fell flat
good.
in certain areas. I can admit that as well. But I do think that music wise, I generally did like the music. I don't think, like what Zamer pointed out, especially in Beauty and the Beast, I don't think that their love came naturally, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas in Aladdin, we're just going to use Aladdin. I did think that that was more, I thought it was cuter. I like how they did that. The love between Aladdin
Like
and Jasmine.
with
Like
the live
their
action Beauty and the
flirtation ship.
Beast. Yeah, well with live action Beauty and the Beast, it all happens over what? A period of a week, maybe two? While in the animation, it's clearly a large amount of time
Mm-hmm.
has passed. She
Mm-hmm.
leaves when it's still like early fall, and they go through like winter and are like into spring, into the wet season.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I think it's just more in live action wise. I preferred Aladdin and Jasmine's relationship. But again,
That
I
we
like, and you,
also are a sucker for like really dorky relationships. They
yeah,
were
and
pretty
and
dorky.
you know me, I do love Beauty and the Beast. It's one of my favorite Disney
True.
princess movies. I do love Beauty and the Beast. I'm never like, it's just gonna hold a special place in my heart. Which is why I'm very critical of the actual live action film. But even me being critical about it doesn't mean that I didn't like it any less than, let's say, The Lion King. That one I was incredibly disappointed in. I saw it. I did not like it. I try very hard because I'm biased and I really do love Disney. I tried really hard to like The Lion King. They had an all-star cast. Loved everyone who voiced in The Lion King. But the fact that they did a word by word like telling of the story while cutting out a lot of the comedic parts of it irked me. Like, it irked me. I just like, no, 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 no.
Like they could have made like really ridiculous choices for things. So like I feel like, was it Mowgli is like the new live action Jungle Book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what it's actually called, but Jungle Book, the current live action one with
Mm-hmm.
all the CGI directed by Jon Favreau. I
Mm-hmm.
love that man, by the way. It's a pretty serious story throughout, but I think it has a lot more humor than most others because they have Christopher Walken in it
Yeah.
singing, quote unquote, singing as King Louis.
Yes. Also, I will say I actually, because I watched the Jungle Book. I loved how they designed the animals. Like I loved how they designed King Louis. I love that even though it was a little bit more serious, they fleshed out Mowgli in a good way. Because he wasn't like the other animals like you thought he was. Like he was a human who was creative, who made, I guess they called it tricks. But he was, evolving and working his little human brain, which was actually very interesting. Like I loved seeing that, how he himself grew as a young boy. Loved
Yeah.
it. Loved that telling of I actually I also enjoyed the Jungle Book, but I really liked it. I thought that was a very creative way of doing it. I just did not like The Lion King. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard to try and watch Mulan so I can get a better review. But from what I've heard, that one was also kind of fell flat. So
It did. It
most of
really did.
most of the current live action films are falling flat, and I'm not holding on to any hope. And like again, I
Yeah.
really like The Little Mermaid. I really like The Little Mermaid. I hope they don't destroy The Little Mermaid. Like I really, it's because that I think is one of the most popular Disney princess films out there is The Little Mermaid.
I feel like they hyper focus on things too much sometimes. Disney hyper focuses on things
Mm-hmm.
too much. It's like, oh, we're gonna do like all these live action remakes, and I'm like, cool. Like, can I get some like animation over here? Can I get some?
I
Oh,
miss
by the
the
way, you asked me a question like
animation.
a while ago, and I didn't answer it. It's like, oh, which ones do you think would make good live actions, or do you want to see made into live action?
Yeah.
Um, in theory, I feel like some of these are too new to actually justify being remade or retelling into live action. But what I would love to see physically happen and like practical effects and everything would be uh Princess and the Frog. I would love to see all that magic done
Mm-hmm.
in live action. I'd love to see that.
Oh, okay. You mean like the
Oh,
the voodoo kind of stuff? That
oh
Are
my
you
god.
ready?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Friends on the other side.
yes.
Yes. Um and what is it? Mama Odie?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
I'd love to see her. Um, but and it's one of those things. It doesn't have to be retold. I personally just want to see that in live action. That's all I want to see is like those things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
but another thing I would love to see, um, again, live action. I want to see this physically in my world. Is Coco.
Oh, pff, that's gonna be a huge undertaking.
I know, but it would be so beautiful.
It would be pretty.
So
Okay, so this is the thing. I really liked Coco. You know, all right. Let me just say, when it
okay,
comes to
Zamer,
Disney,
we love you.
oh, so it's like,
Bye,
oh,
Zamer. We love
bye,
you.
Samer. We do
Thanks
love
for
you.
stopping by.
Thank you for stopping by. So let's say, for the sake of argument, I would not touch any of the Pixar films. I just wouldn't touch
I
them.
mean, that's fair. Like, there's no reason to touch Frozen or Brave
Well,
or like Toy Story.
Frozen isn't a Disney Pixar by all means. Like they can
Yeah,
fuck
but
that up.
the
Brave is Brave is
right.
the only Disney Pixar princess that was in the princess lineup. Was Brave, or
I
what's
would
her face,
kind of like
Merida.
to see A Bug's Life, but I don't have to because it's just a retelling of Seven Samurai.
Yeah. So in all honesty, it's like I wouldn't really touch Pixar because Pixar, I know it's like Disney's Pixar, but Pixar in itself I separate from Disney.
Because it's not two dimensional, it's 3D.
It's not only 3D. The way they create stories in Pixar, everyone knows, okay, bring out the tissues. You're going to cry. You're going to feel something.
This is true. I had a coworker back at World Market she said it's like, I can't remember if this movie is Pixar or Disney. Did my husband cry in it? Yes, he cried in it. It's a
It's Pixar.
Pixar movie because he cries in every single Pixar movie.
The way that Pixar does, like the way that Pixar do their movies is just. Also, Zamer had a question. He's like, "Oh, what Disney film like what Disney anime film would flop if there's no music? Any of the Pixar films, like any of them, because a lot of them don't really like. For example, Toy Story is not a musical. It's Toy Story, and it's amazing.
It's background music.
Yeah, and like that's why I'm like Pixar is a whole different league. Yes, there's Disney animate like the Disney Animation Studios. Pixar animation is in itself something beyond that. That's why I'm like, don't you fucking touch them with any of the live action. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it.
This Coco isn't Pixar.
Coco is Pixar.
Like, yeah, but it's like I don't.
And
another
reason why
I want to see just like the afterlife. I'm sorry, it's not my culture, so I don't know what it's referred to, but like the afterlife.
It's the land of the dead. It's the land of the dead.
There we go. I completely just brain farted on that.
No,
I would
you're
love
good.
to see that.
It's gonna be a huge undertaking, though, for real.
But think
like
about
the land
all
of the
spirit
dead
animals or the spirit guides and all that.
Yeah, the alebrijes.
Yes. Oh.
I'm telling you, like they are like it would be a huge undertaking, and I don't know if they're ready for that yet, because like the way that they did the whole land of the dead as like this giant city with colors and everything, like
so many layers.
Ooh, yeah.
So many layers.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like I said, it's like these are far too new to really justify making them live action. I just personally want to see just very specific things done in like live action.
I think
also my heart is not ready for another like Coco ending.
Oh no, you're gonna have to, because okay, so we were talking to like Pixar and whatever. I'm trying to think if there's any other film that would have been that you just can't touch, that should just stay animated.
You know what I would really like them to do? It doesn't even have to be live action. I'd love them to do Black Cauldron.
Oh, that would be cool.
I would love to see that live action.
That would be very interesting, especially seeing what's the villain's name?
The Horned King.
Oh yeah, okay. The Horned King.
Nothing too fancy.
That would be scary, because it was scary watching it. He was like a scary looking villain.
He was.
So so we're actually a little over time, but we decided to get over time. No, because of my internet and it's shitting out all over itself.
Yeah, I'm gonna I think we have like 3 or 4 different parts at this point because it kept cutting us off.
I apologize. I really do apologize for that. My internet's working now perfectly fine. I don't know why it shot the first few minutes of our podcast. I don't know what was going on, but meh. I really hope that, because me and Emily are talking about a lot of other topics that I think you guys would be very interested in.
Yeah.
Especially with the whole Star Wars franchise.
I got opinions.
So, and yes, I was about to say I would love to hear your Star Wars opinions, because I'm just a base Star Wars fan. Let's put it there. I'm just a base Star Wars fan.
Yeah, it's like you have some nerdy background and influence, so it's like, oh yeah, Star Wars in passing.
Yes, I do like Star Wars, but I am not like a diehard fan like you. I know there's going to be there's definitely certain shows I want to talk about. I actually want to talk about WandaVision one day.
Yes. But I think me and you both are kind of waiting until it's fully released, since it looks
Yes.
like it's being released episodically.
Yes.
Um, because I don't like waiting for stuff. I
No, me
am a very
either.
impatient person.
Yeah, no, me either. Um, because I do want to talk about that eventually as
Hmm.
one of Marvel's first like shows like that.
Hmm.
So it's gonna be interesting. And I'm trying not to spoil anything for me, and it's so hard because Twitter always has opinions. And I'm just like, no, stop, please stop.
I know. Like, I feel so bad. I accidentally ruined the final episode of The Mandalorian for your husband the other night.
Oh
Cause
no!
I,
Well, he watched it. He watched it last night, actually. So
okay, because I didn't know wasn't finished. I
yeah,
thought he was
no.
finished and I've ruined it. But I know not to talk to you about it because you want to wait and watch it, and I have opinions that I
Oh
need
yeah,
you
I
to
still have to
watch it,
see it.
Ricey.
Yeah, that is on my
Also,
to-do list.
Ricey needs to watch it so she can watch the gallery, which is the behind the scenes series for it. Because girl, oh my god, the effects that they do for
Okay.
this series.
See, that's the kind of shit I love. Like how they do all
Yeah,
that
and
shit.
that's why I'm like, watch it so you can get that out of the way so we can talk about the gallery.
Okay. It'll be on my to-do list. I just haven't had energy to watch anything or
I
binge
know, girl.
anything. I'm
I know.
restless. I'm so restless. I have to do shit and I can't sit down,
I
Super
know.
restless.
I know.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm
And
sorry it's
sticking
another.
with us through all this
Yeah,
bullshit.
especially for my computer to shit on itself. I hope you liked the topic. This was something I was really, really excited to talk about because, again, I have opinions. I don't think that I. Okay, final opinion. I don't like the lot of the live action. There are some that are like good, but it's either hit or
Or
miss for me. Either love
or
it or hate it.
decent.
Yeah, I personally overall prefer animation.
Yeah.
Like that, genuinely, I just prefer animation. 3D or 2D, good. However, other than like the three movies that I think I listed, which was Cinderella, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and what was the other one?
I think you listed
Oh, The Jungle
Maleficent.
Book. No, no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Maleficent is Maleficent is different. Remember, it's not like an exact retelling. It's just it's
It's a
a story on its
reimagining.
own. Yeah, it's a story on its own. The Jungle Book,
But
as
that's
those are
why it's
retellings.
good.
Yes, Maleficent is again on another plane of amazing. But those four
Can we
films,
just get John Favreau to like direct everything from now on because he knows what he's doing. He's the one that directed the new live action Jungle Book.
yes, I mean
Which
it
is
was
awesome.
awesome. Like those are good, but everything else was kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Like everything else kind of shitty.
And like those even had problems.
Yeah. Yeah, even those had and that's like reaching for sure. That is definitely reaching.
Yeah.
Other than Cinderella, I actually really did like Cinderella. I
It
actually
had its problems, just not glaring ones like
no,
the
no, no,
others
no.
do.
Yeah, for real. I loved that they fleshed out the stepmother very much in
Mhm.
that movie. So Mulan, maybe I'll watch it. I don't know. It's just I feel like I'm
Uh,
just dragging my feet. Cruella, on the other hand, I'm interested. It's gonna be interesting. More
no, The
dogs.
101 Dalmatians was never really like my Disney movie, so it's
No,
like I'm
same.
kind of indifferent to it.
Yeah, but I will watch that one. And then the Little Mermaid, of course, I'm gonna watch it because it's the fucking Little Mermaid. And I think those are the only ones that I think are next on the list. Who knows? Um. Also, last thing. Sorry, it just
Hmm.
popped in my brain. Speaking
What?
of John Favreau, he's doing the
Hmm.
Untitled Jungle Book sequel. So
Yeah,
for the
he's the one
theatrical
that
version.
did it originally, so he's gonna
Yeah.
stick with it.
So
I
it's gonna
really
be
like
interesting.
him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm,
excited. Like
mm-hmm.
I have high hopes for it just because it's like he you just need to watch the gallery because he actually does talk about it in the gallery when talking about the Mandalorian. Um
Mm.
because he is the director for both of those, the main
Yeah.
director, or he's the executive producer for the Mandalorian along with the writer and one of the main directors.
Gotcha.
Um so I have high hopes for the sequel because he took a lot of learning experience from the first and from literally everything else between then and now, including The Mandalorian, that I know it's going to be like astonishing. It may not be flawless, because what show or series isn't?
Yeah.
Um, but it's like I actually I think that's going to be the only one I'm actually going to have high hopes for.
It's going to be interesting. And now that his name is definitely out there because of The Mandalorian, there's going to be a lot more pressure. So we'll
I want
see.
to know what his last random. I know we need to end it, but one last thing. Do you know what Jon Favreau's first
No,
directing
no,
career was?
no.
Elf.
Ha! No freaking way. Oh,
Yep,
that's
his
awesome.
first ever film he directed, first feature-length film, first film he ever directed was Elf.
That's amazing.
Yep,
And that's a classic Disney movie now. Oh, not Disney movie. A classic Christmas movie
it is.
now.
It is.
Well, guy's talented. I'll give him that. All right. Thank
We
you
should
guys
talk
so
about him
much.
one day.
Oh, God.
Let's finish it before we go off on another tangent. Quick.
Oh, okay. All right. I hope you guys have a good week. Join us again next week for a new topic. There's a lot of topics we're going to discuss, so we'll just pick one from like a hat or something.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have a good week, and we will see you next week. And hopefully my computer won't shit on itself this time. Hooray. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.